All right, we are live on YouTube. All right, welcome everybody. Welcome you all into the coaching hour after 1 week of break. You know, a lot can change in 1 week. We have a lot of great news for you this week, and we have a lot of great content as we always have. But before I tell you about any of the good things we have, let me tell you one thing that this will be the final episode in the coaching hour series. Now, you may get yourself into a very disturbed state of mind at what I'm saying in the final episode. But if you want to know why this is the final episode and what we have in store for you, stay till the end of the session today. Because we are going to give you so much value in this free coaching hour today that you can remember these coaching hours for the rest of your whole life. And you have nothing to worry as all of our coaching hours are on YouTube. And today we have the law of compensation for you. And Shekhar, I believe this is the law which really summarize like most of the things we have studied so far in this philosophy. What are your takeaways on that, Shekhar, on this subject?
Absolutely. In fact, as I go into the content deeper later on, we will see how the author himself has actually pulled us back into the first chapter of the law of thinking. And from there, he proceeds onward to explaining the law of compensation. We're just going to get into that a little bit. And over here, we will also see how the law of increase, the law of attraction, the law of supply, they all beautifully come and integrate along with each other with the law of compensation. So this is a pretty important law for all of us to apply, especially I would say in the business field. It's really, it works just as good for the other goals that you have for health and relationships. But in business, this law teaches you something very, very vital, and you have to change your mentality to be successful in your field if you have to work in accordance with the law. And the law of compensation, I think, is really important for all those who are seeking to become entrepreneurs or who already have a business with them right now.
Absolutely. So on that note, over to
Yeah.
you. Go ahead and let our audience really understand what is law of compensation is all about. Over to you, Shekhar.
Okay. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Uh, Today, before starting the law of compensation, I'd like to just ask you three questions. The first question is, do you expect something for nothing? I repeat, do you expect something for nothing? Your answer could be anything. It could be a yes or it could be a no. All right. And keep it to yourself. You don't have to tell me. Second question is, are you a bargain hunter? Do you constantly keep on looking out for bargains? Yes or no? Three, do you hate to pay your bills? Like whenever you look at your bills at the end of the month, it could be your phone bills, it could be a certain subscription, it could be anything. How do you feel when you see the bill in your email or a hard copy mailed to your address? Like, do you hate paying it? Just it's either yes or a no. So keep the answers with you, and I'll take you through the law of compensation. And right towards the end of the session, I'll be coming back to three of these questions again, and we'll see whether we have been working with the law of compensation so far in our lives or not. If not, today is the best time to change everything, and we can change our thinking and work in accordance with the law of compensation. Now, this lesson, the law of compensation, as Sukhveer already pointed out, it's a pretty important law in this entire philosophy. And it's in this chapter that the author Raymond Holliwell gives us a purpose for this entire law. He says the purpose of this lesson is to show you that you can use the law to lift yourself out of the place where you are to the place where you rightfully belong. Your right place is where you can enjoy success and plenty. This is natural as the law intended. Your failure to realize these things is a miscalculation, a mistake. The law does not need to change as we know it. It's an immutable law. Success or prosperity does not need to be made. It always is. It has always been existing. But you, in turn, must change. Then your affairs will follow the change. So this is the entire purpose of learning, studying, and applying the law of compensation. The thing is, you are at a certain level in your life right now, and you want to grow bigger and go to a different level altogether. It's a level which you are scared to reach to, but at the same time you're excited to reach this level because you know inside of you honestly that you deserve to be on a higher level than where you are right now. So this is exactly what the law of compensation is going to do for you. Once you apply this law of compensation in your everyday affairs, things will start changing for you slowly but surely, and you will attain the level that you've always been seeking. So what is your right place? What does the law intend for you? Your right place is a place where you have success and plenty with you all the time. You're living in abundance. That is what the law intends for you. But if you do not work, think, or act as per the law of compensation, you will forever be stuck where you are. Absolutely. And the only way you can change it, as Emerson says, the key to every man is his thought. You have to change your thoughts if you have to apply the law of compensation properly in the positive direction, which will lead you to your desired goal. In the study of the laws of the truth, the author says, we learn to apply them so that they will dissolve all our adverse thoughts and conditions. So, what are these adverse thoughts and what are these adverse conditions? The adverse conditions are those conditions where we don't want to live. The adverse thoughts are those thoughts which always keeps us from having or reaching our goal from time to time. We are thinking, oh my God, it's been 3 months, it's been 6 months, I haven't yet reached my goal. Well, stop thinking about why you're not able to reach your goal and think about the law of compensation. Are you really thinking the thoughts that you really need to think to reach to your goal or to expand? If not, this is the best time that you can, just take a halt and gather all the information that you can about all the laws that we've been studying so far. And you can actually, all you have to do is just go to your consciousness, just change it right over there. And over here, what I've seen is, again, the author, Raymond Holliwell, takes us back to the law of thinking. If you've seen that episode, a couple of quotes from here will resonate with you, and you will be able to recall what we learned in the law of thinking. Raymond Holliwell says, and he says this before going into the law of compensation, he says, the home is a reflection of the ruling mind. Its appearance speaks its keeper's mind. If you are working for success, look at the home. If order is the first law, which it is, then it must also be your first application. So if you're applying the law of attraction, the law of supply, and every other law that you've learned so far, and you're thinking, why am I not getting results? It's because you are not thinking in an orderly, disciplined, and constructive manner. It is useless to pray for a new home if you cannot take care of your present one. Now, what are the chances that you are not taking care of your home right now? Why aren't you taking care of it? Because you do not have gratitude for the home that you're living in right now. I can totally understand. You want to move to a new home. You have this new home in your dreams. It's all built up. You pray for this home. You meditate on this home as your goal. But you have to bring order to your current home right now. If you want a better car, you have to start taking care of your car right now, which you call the old car, which you want to get rid of. But don't think of your old car in that way. Bless your new car. Be thankful that you have a car. Most people don't have it. They have to take buses, cycles, bikes, or whatever. They have to wait for hours for Uber. And you have a car. It might be an old car, but it's taking you to the places that you want to go and get your job done, right? So be thankful for the home that you're in right now. Be thankful for the car that you're driving right now. Take good care of your home, your car, everything that you have with you right now. Express gratitude for it. And the better car, the better home is already on its way. It's already done if you're taking care of your present home and your present car. Now, again, the author says the business reflects the mind of the organization. This is especially for people who are like wannabe entrepreneurs or people who are running a business right now. The organization reflects the mind of its chief. So whether you are the only employee working in your startup or whether you have a lot of employees working under you as a person running a successful business or maybe a startup, this is really important for you. I would say this is so important that you should ram this at the back of your brain. The business reflects the mind of the organization. The organization reflects the mind of its chief. So look at what your business is giving you. Don't cry over the cash flow, profit and loss, and all the other account statements. Look into your consciousness. There's something think that you're not thinking in the right way, because of which you're not able to do the right operations, which would actually scale your business and bring in more profits, which would actually, maximize your profits, so to say. The law helps those who help themselves. The law of compensation always works that way. Now, when we were kids, we were told through stories that, God helps those who help themselves. And as kids, we used to think, well, if God created the entire universe, if God helps everyone, then why does God want us to help ourselves before God can help us? Well, now we've understood that the only help that we need to give to ourselves is just help ourselves enough to change our thoughts, change it in accordance with the natural laws of the universe. Because whatever goals you have, those goals will come into physical form from the one formless substance that permeates the entire universe. And you have access to this power 24/7. It doesn't matter whichever part of the planet you are in. And while you're working with this power, you know that this power can give form to whatever image you have in your mind. So the only help that you need to help yourself with is to think the right thoughts, the thoughts that are in accordance with the laws of the universe. When you perform your tasks to the very best of your ability, or when you are thorough in your work and do it well, you infallibly bring out the best there is in you. Isn't that something we all want every day? We want to be a best version of ourselves. We want to be better than who we were yesterday, right? Otherwise expressed, you grow more capable and efficient. This is why we need to grow, because we want to become more capable and more efficient in whatever it is that we are doing. You become better and thereby show your growing superiority. And the law is that he who becomes better will attract the better and be given the greater things to do. So what is the law? The law is that he who becomes better will attract the better and be given the greater things to do. So you're at this point and you want to take up the duties and responsibilities to reach this point, right? So right over here, not after you've reached this destination, but right wherever you are right now at this moment, you have to accept the duties and responsibilities of the person taking care of your goal, a bigger goal, an expansive goal. And that's how you go inside of yourself and you start taking more and more duties and responsibilities. Still, one day you come up to the level where you outgrow your present state and your dreams come true. You actually fill the position that you wanted. The position was always there. It's you who had to change your mind and come into a vibration to attract that position to you. The principle involved, this is the principle behind the law of compensation. The principle involved is that when you become too large for your present place, as I just explained, you will begin to draw yourself to something larger. This is absolutely normal. You cannot attract the better until you first become larger. So you cannot say that, once I reach there, once I have the money, once I have the resources, I will then do it. No, you start where you are with whatever you've got. This again gets integrated into the law of compensation. You start wherever you are with whatever you got, all the tools, resources, help, people, organizations, network, everything will come. You just have to take care of your thoughts. That's it. You must earn what you receive or you cannot keep it. So to earn this position, you have to outgrow your current position. And then you will seamlessly get blended with your new position in just a couple of months, or maybe more, depending on how much you are praying, meditating, seriously studying, and applying the laws. Now, here's the thing. To blame your difficulty on outer conditions or on other people is not correct. It is not the law, it is you who are wrong. And that is exactly what the student of the mind should seriously consider. When anything does not go the way you planned it, remember there was something in your consciousness, maybe a day ahead, maybe a day ago, a week ago, or a month ago, there was something in your consciousness which manifested the unpleasant thing because of which you don't like the present situation or circumstance that you're in. The easiest way is to recognize and change your consciousness. Go deep into your consciousness. There is a thought which actually caused your present unpleasant feeling. So you can change your feeling by changing your thoughts, and thereby you can assure that next time onwards, this unpleasant situation will never get repeated in your life. You have a snag in your mentality somewhere, right? That's exactly what the author says when he says it is not the law, it is you who are wrong. You have a snag in your mentality somewhere. Something in your mind is holding you back. It's not that the universe doesn't want to give you whatever you want. The supply is already there, as you have learned from the law of supply. It's always there. It was always there. It's right over here. It's inside of you. It's your consciousness. You have to go deep into your consciousness and you have to rearrange your thoughts. You have to rearrange your mind. You don't have to rearrange anything in the outside world. You have to rearrange everything in your mind. Check back and readjust your ideas. They are creating and bringing forth your conditions. If we attract the unpleasant, it is often because some dormant or neglected phase of our nature needs to be awakened and developed. Also, we learn from the experience to create something better. So if an unpleasant moment comes in, what's our first reaction? What's our frequent reaction? Oh no, why did this thing happen to me? Why is God after me? There are so many people doing all the wrong stuff and nothing's happening to them. I'm an honest guy. I'm doing everything honestly, and yet all the wrong goes on with me. That's not how you're supposed to think. I know that could be the reaction, the very first reaction that you might get. But if you're studying the laws of the universe, next time onwards, you meet with any unpleasant thing, remember, it's the universe at work. It's trying to teach you something. There's a lesson for you in that unpleasant moment. And the biggest lesson is that something in your mind has not changed. It's adverse, it's dominant, and it's dormant. It's still lying there. It hasn't really been replaced. And it's your job. You have to help yourself before the law can help you. You have to take all the duties and all the responsibilities of replacing those thoughts with the thoughts that are in accordance with the law of compensation. To interpret this law in a simple form, it should be stated that whatever we attract, we require, and whatever we need is always good. So if you are thinking of your goal, don't think, do I really need that? Do I really need that amount of money? Do I really need that position? Well, if it has come from inside of you, it means you have a desire to fulfill that position. It means you really need that money to lead the lifestyle that you want to live. So do not question your needs. And whatever comes into your life, whatever you attract, if it's unpleasant, always stop and change your consciousness. Take the responsibility of changing your consciousness. Write an affirmation that is going to give you whatever it is that you wanted out of your life. If you're attracting something unpleasant, it means you have been affirming something in the past which was unpleasant. That's why all of a sudden you got something unpleasant when you didn't want it. You are praying, you are meditating, you're writing your affirmations, you're doing everything, and yet you encounter unpleasant things. It means your universe is bringing certain lessons onto the surface to tell you, to show you that this is exactly where you need to change your mind. You need to start writing new affirmations. So be thankful to the universe anytime you meet with an unpleasant moment or an unpleasant feeling. Remember, that's a big lesson for you coming right from the universe, and you really need to change it. So you've got these inferior thoughts, you've got evil thoughts, ugly thoughts, distressing thoughts whenever you meet with any unpleasant situation or circumstance. But the power is totally inside of you. The power is with you to convert all of these things into superior thoughts, good thoughts, beautiful thoughts, and pleasant thoughts. In other words, learn to think constructively of all persons, all things, all events, and all circumstances. So this is something that should be going in your action planner right now. This is an action plan that has been given by the author in the law of compensation. So how do we get to the superior, good, beautiful, and pleasant thoughts? We do this by learning to thinking constructively of all persons, all things, all events, and all circumstances. Appraise them from the ideal point of view. Appraising someone from the ideal point of view means that when you are seeing them shout at you, hurting you, whatever it is the other person has done to you, whatever the situation or circumstance that you are in, understand that the other person is doing this because of something inside their consciousness, and you forgive them instantly. We will be going into the law of forgiveness later in a later episode in this series. But for the time being, what you need to do is, if you find someone misbehaving with you, you forgive them and you bless them. Soon you'll find that if they are still in the same behavior through a certain situation or circumstance or an event, they will automatically go out of your life. And someone who is in harmony with your thoughts, that is people who are forgiving, people who are compassionate, you will attract those kind of people in your life. And don't you want to work with these kind of people who are compassionate towards others? You will therefore cease to condemn and to criticize in a destructive manner. Do not criticize anybody in a destructive manner. Okay, do not point out faults directly. If you see a fault in someone, you can criticize them constructively, whereby you can tell them that if you do this instead of this, you can have better results. You can be sweet and polite in your approach. You don't have to say, well, if you're going to do that forever, you're going to be stuck wherever you are, get lost, or something like that. Help people out. Now that you know the laws of the universe and you see someone else applying it in the wrong way, be sweet to them, approach them. You will know whether they want to accept this information or not. If they are ready and willing to accept this information, discuss the law of compensation with them and tell them to see the good in others. Okay? Instead, you will seek to bring out the good in yourself and in others. From the previous episode, the good you see in others reflects the good that is there in you, and you always want to see the good in you, right? So you see the good in others, and the next time you see yourself in the mirror, you will only see the good in you. Over here, there's another thing that should go on your action planner. The author says, do not say money is scarce. The very statement will send money away from you. Do not say times are hard. This will tighten your purse strings so tight that even God will not be able to slip in another coin. Now, all this has been presented very metaphorically, but what this really means when it comes to the application of the law is that when you keep on telling yourself over and over again, oh my God, I don't have money to pay for this, I don't have money to pay for that, I don't have money for this, I don't have money for that, you are assuming something every moment. And it's your assumptions that actually go ahead and create your reality. If you're persisting in the assumption that you don't have enough money to go around, your reality will keep on repeating like that, and you will tell yourself, well, history repeats itself. The author says, do not say times are hard. Okay, whatever the situation, whatever the circumstance be, you know that if you meet with anything unpleasant, where do you need to go? You need to go to your consciousness. You need to change your thoughts. Now here, if you want a better home, make the one you have as nice as you can. Remember, by doing this, you are applying the law of thinking, the law of supply, all the laws together, including the law of compensation. If you want new furnishings, new clothing, don't condemn or belittle what you have, but enjoy them to the fullest. This reminds me of something, of a quote that says roughly that someone out there is praying for what you already have. So whatever clothes you're wearing, whatever house that you're living in, whatever car that you're driving, be thankful for everything that you have. You have a different set of clothes in your imagination for your goal. You have a different house in your goal. You have a different car in your goal. That imagination must be worked with throughout the day. But at the same time, do not make your present home an unpleasant place to stay in by constantly criticizing it. My home is too small for me. Once I reach my goal, I'm going to live in a bigger home. That's not the attitude. What you have to do is be in an attitude of gratitude. Whatever home you're living in, whatever car you're driving, whatever clothes you're wearing, enjoy them to the fullest. All the things that you want will automatically come to you if you follow the laws of the universe properly. If you want a position or a new one, get yourself in readiness to fill that position or improve the one where you are. Again, as previously discussed, you have to outgrow your present position to be able to reach to a position where you are the man or the woman that you want to be. Right now, you're over here and you're not liking it, but you have to be grateful for everything that you have over here. And this will act as a catapult, which will take you towards the man or the woman that you want to be. Whatever car you want to drive, whatever amount of sales you want to have every month, whatever kind of business it is that you want to start, whatever kind of home that you want to live in, the starting point is always where you are. Okay, so change your consciousness where you are. And let's get into compensation. The author says, rather than call competition the spirit of the business, let us call it compensation. So if we are not calling competition the spirit of business and we would like to call it compensation, like the spirit of business is compensation. So what is compensation? Compensation means equal returns for that which is given. It means a balance of that quality or service that is extended to another. To expound this a little bit more, the better your service, the greater the reward. The more business you will attract. If you follow this law, you will find that it is the golden rule in any life or in any business. So here's the law of compensation summarized. Stop thinking about your competitors. Instead, think about how you are going to compensate your present customer segment or your prospective customer segment. That is the only thing that you should be busy with. If you think you've got competitors in your industry, you will always have your competitors. And you know what's going to happen in that spirit of competition? You will always spend all your time trying to study what your competitors doing, right? You will follow them on social media, trying to see what is their next campaign, what new products or services they are coming out with. Are they experimenting with something? Okay, fine. They got out 3 products and the second product failed. So we are going to go ahead and copy the first and the third product, and we are not going to manufacture the second product. You see, in competition, what happens is you're always plus or minus a couple of percentage from your competitor who you're trying to defeat. Maybe your competitor is really not interested whether you exist in the industry or not, but you have given your competitors so much of importance by calling it the spirit of business that you are forever studying them. Stop studying your competitors. Start studying yourself. And the best way to study yourself is to study the laws of the universe. See how to apply them. And then you work with compensation as the spirit of your business. With the law of compensation, you have an understanding, a deep understanding that whatever unique product or service that you need to bring out in the market, that product or service already exists. It exists inside of you. The power that is flowing to and through you right now can help you bring about a product or service that your industry has not even heard of. So put all your time and effort over there instead of trying to study your competitors. Let your competitors do whatever they're doing. They're doing absolutely fine. But what you need to do is you need to concentrate on yourself. You have to look within, not on the outside to your competitors. You have to look within to see what are your capabilities, what new thing can you innovate, what can you bring new to the market, how can you change your marketing strategies, how can you change your operations. The answers are all inside of you. All you need to do is just tap into your subconscious powers and you will have your answers. If you're not succeeding, if you lack any good thing, look more closely to the cause. It is not outside, it is somewhere within. See where you fail to use the law correctly or where you fail in your consciousness to think rightly, just as we discussed. There are 3 points common in everyday life where one may fall into a snare or a delusion. So what are those 3 points where we are, bound to fall into a delusion? Now, these 3 points were the 3 questions that I asked right in the beginning of the show. Let's go through that. And whatever your answer is, yes or no, right now you will know ultimately that what your answer should be if you are to follow the law of compensation while working with these questions. The first question, do you expect something for nothing? Do you always, are you always on a lookout that, if my friends are going out, I'm going to go out with them so that I can, split the fare and pay lesser money. Or if my friend is throwing a party, I should go and join the party because over there I can just go and have something for free. I don't have to pay for anything. If my friend's going on a ride, I'll just, go on a ride with him and I'll split the amount that's there. So do you always keep on looking for things where other people would either pay half of what you're paying by sharing something with you? Or are you always on a lookout that something is throwing a party and I want to go and be a part of that thing so that I don't have to pay for it? You're not thinking in accordance with the laws of the universe. If you really understand your mind, if you truly understand the laws of the universe, then what you're going to do is you will build an image in your mind where you see yourself so abundant that you are actually paying for the ride of your friend. It's like you and your friend are riding an Uber and you tell your friend, forget about it, I'm paying for this. That's the attitude you should adopt because you are working with abundance. If you and your friends are going out for a movie night or to a fine dining restaurant, you, being a student of the mind, a student who always studies the laws, you should build the image in your mind that you are just taking out your debit card or credit card and saying, hey, I would like to pay the bill tonight. Build these kind of images where you're not taking from others, but in return, you feel so abundant. You assume yourself to be so abundant that you're always taking out your mobile wallet or your credit card or your debit card and you are paying for others. That does not mean that you're squandering money. It just means that you have assumed and you have convinced your subconscious mind that if there's a party going on, if there's anything going on and my friends are there, people are there, I am capable, totally capable of paying for everything that's going on. I don't need to borrow money from anyone to enjoy my life. I'm quite capable enough to enjoy my life the way I want it, and I also pay for others because I am abundant. That's what I assume myself to be. Question number 2, are you a bargain hunter? Okay, be honest with this. When you go to a shopping mall, do your eyes easily catch those things, up to 25% discount, flat 30% off, use a certain bank's credit card and you get a flat 50% off, sale going on, discounts going on? Or do you actually go to the shopping mall thinking that I am abundant enough, I have enough money that I really don't have to look at for the discounts, whatever it is, whether these are old stock clearance items or whether it's something that has newly arrived in the market, I don't care. If I like that t-shirt, I am picking up that t-shirt. It really doesn't matter whether it's an old t-shirt that is out for stock clearance or whether it's a t-shirt that has been recently launched by the brand. Just go over there and pick up the dress that you want to actually buy, something that looks good on you, something that enhances your self-image, something that when you wear it and you come in front of the mirror and you look at yourself and you go like, wow, good, that really suits me. So money doesn't matter over here. Don't look out for discounts. If you're getting a discount, while you're making a payment at the shopping mall and they say, sir, ma'am, you've got so much and so much of discount of 20% or 30%. If you pay through Paytm, you're going to get a cashback. Just tell them, okay, fine, go ahead, do my billing. Do not concentrate on how much of discount you're getting. If it's discounted, good, get a discount. But don't go hunting for discounts. Don't go and keep on bargaining with people, all right? Third, and these are all according to the law of compensation. I did not make those things up. Number three, do you hate to pay your bills? Do you feel like, last month I just watched 2 movies on Netflix and here's my monthly subscription. I have to pay this again. I pay so much of money and I end up watching only 2 movies on 2 weekends. Is that what I'm paying Netflix for? When you look at your internet bill, when you look at your mobile bill, if you're running an online business, you have bills, monthly subscription of so many services that make your business run smoothly and easily. How do you feel when you get your bills towards the end of the month or towards the beginning of the month? Keep a check on your thoughts. How do you feel? If you truly feel abundant, if you're working with the laws of the universe, if you've really changed your thoughts, and if you're really successful in changing your thoughts, you will understand that you should always feel that you are abundant. Always tell yourself that I am capable, I am able to pay all my bills. It doesn't matter what your bills are. It doesn't matter what the amount is. If you want to really live the lifestyle that you want, if you have assumed yourself that you are abundant, that you have more money left in your bank account than your present lifestyle requires, you are abundant. That's how you should start thinking right now. Not when you reach your goal. You have to bring the future to the present. That's the power of your mind. Physically, you cannot bring the future into the present, but with your mind, you can. With your imagination, you can. So use your mind. Use this beautiful redemptive faculty called imagination and imagine that the future is already yours. Imagine that you are not expecting something for nothing. Imagine that you are paying for your friends. You're paying for the parties. Imagine that you're not hunting for bargains. Imagine that you're just going into a shopping mall, having the food that you want, going to a fine dining restaurant, going and buying the clothes that you want. Just imagine that. All you need to do is just imagine and bring the future to the present and get deep into the feeling. How would it feel if you are paying for your friends? Your friends are enjoying the evening at Starbucks. They are having the coffee of their choice. They're having the snacks of their choice. How would you feel sitting back and thinking, I'm so abundant that I'm going to pay for my friend's treat today? Okay, you take them onto a movie. Then you don't go bargain hunting in shopping malls. You just go and pick up the clothes that you feel this is what I should be wearing because this really suits me and it just suits my persona. And you pay whatever the price is. If you get a discount, cool. But if you don't get a discount, if it's a newly launched product, you pay the full price. Do not worry about it. Because with the law of compensation, the better you give better products and better services to your customers, the more your customers will keep on opening the wallet and keep coming back to you over and over again. And that's how you will be able to build abundance for yourself. And towards the end of the lesson, the author himself gave a little self-inventory, and I think we all should go through this. So the next time you are reading the chapter, The Law of Compensation, over and over again for the next entire week, that's what I would suggest you do. Read this chapter at least once every day for an entire week. And when you're done reading the chapter, pay special attention to the last paragraph of the chapter, which I'm going to quote over here. What is life giving you today? Health, happiness, and abundance, or sickness, misery, and lack? Self-inventory. Whatever it is your own. It belongs to no one else but you. You make your investments and you are daily enjoying the profits or losses. If you are dissatisfied with your investment, it may be wise for you to note what you have invested. Only your own can come to you, and be sure that all that is yours will become manifest. It is your responsibility, no other person may share it. Your own and all of your own will come to you. Your own and all of your own will come to you. This is the promise of the law of compensation only when you use it rightly. So remember, do you expect something for nothing? Are you a bargain hunter? Do you hate to pay your bills? Work on 3 of these habits for the next 1 week. Read the chapter, The Law of Compensation, over and over again, as many times as you can. If you do not have enough time, just read this chapter at least once every day. And after you're done reading the chapter, go to this last paragraph and take a self inventory. This is the only way in which you will understand where you're standing right now and what are the things that you need to do to overgrow your present position and finally become the man or the woman that you want to be. So, with that, thank you so much for tuning in and listening to this entire session. I'll be forwarding this session to Sukhveer right now. Sukhveer, over to you.
Wow. Thank you so much, Shaker.
Yeah.
That was incredible, I was looking at page, on YouTube. I was looking at people who are here on Zoom with us. You know, I see people who are like they are in huge numbers today. I must say that they are here on YouTube. As I can see, there are a lot of comments and comments and comments and comments coming in. And that is a really, really powerful idea that you have shared with all of our audience today about the law of compensation. Now, I would love to, take them back to the last paragraph of the chapter that you've already covered, and then I will come back with a new, not a new, but a very small, but a very powerful idea that Bob Proctor shared about the law of compensation, and it is going to just, club together with everything that we have covered so far. The author says right here that we are free agents to choose the method of procedure in our life. The law is infinite. Through its expression, all things are possible to us. Every time we choose a good thought, we make a good investment. So the question here is, what are you choosing? Are you choosing like happiness, health, wealth? Are you choosing like sickness, poverty, misery? Like, what are the choices that you're making today? Because remember, ultimately, it's the choices that you make that end up dictate everything in your life. It doesn't matter whatever it is. So for now, for the next few minutes, I really want you to pay very close attention to the 3 points and the 3 ideas that I'm going to share here with you about the law of compensation. You know, law of compensation. Now, what is compensation? First of all, let us understand compensation. You can understand compensation in terms of monetary. You can understand compensation in many other ways. But let us for the moment relate our compensation to the amount of money that you are earning in your life right now. Now, money, first of all, understand that it's not the paper you see right here. Although this represents the money, but that's not what it is. It is the representation of what actual the money is. But for the understanding, let me ask you a question. Are you really happy with the amount of money that you're earning right now? If you're not happy, this is the law, or this is this great idea that you have to learn, you have to memorize, and you have to really keep it on your mind for the rest of your life. Remember that the law of compensation states in a very precise and clear manner that the amount of money that you earn in your life, that depends upon 3 things. The first thing is that need of what you do. Now, what are you doing right now? Is there a need of what you do in the market? And I believe there is always a need of whatever we are doing. The methods might change of marketing, the procedures might change, the way you pitch your product might change, but there is always a need of whatever we are doing right now. And if you feel that there is no need of what you're doing, you may need to change your perception, or you may need to find out something more better that you really love to do. And then the second point in the law of compensation is that your ability to do what you're doing right now. And the third point is that difficulty in replacing you. Now, these are very, 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 very important points right here. The need of what you do, your ability to do it, and the difficulty that is right here in replacing you. Like Shaker talked about it in a very beautiful way. He said, you have to be grateful for who you are. You have to keep working on yourself. It's your ability to do whatever you're doing right now that is going to decide how much you're going to earn in your life. That is going to decide, in what kind of house you're going to live. That is going to decide that what kind of vacations you're going to take. That is going to decide that what kind of lifestyle you're going to enjoy. That all depends upon your ability to do whatever you're doing right now in your life. That's why it becomes more important to do what you love to do. And I believe there are very few people who are doing something right now in their life that they really love to do. Why they don't do what they love to do? Some of the reasons why they don't do is they don't understand the law. They think there is, a limited supply, but we have covered that there is an abundance of supply. There is an infinite supply available for everyone and anyone whoever wants to do something in their life. And remember, the more you work on your ability to do whatever you want to do, you are going to become a difficult man to be replaced in your industry. You look at the people who are so professional in their work. You look at Bob Proctor, you look at Jack Canfield, and you look at other sports stars. You look at other actors. You see, those are the best, top-notch professionals in their field, and it is the top-notch professionals in their field that write their own paycheck. You see, there are actors in the industry. There are some actors who are charging around maybe millions of dollars, and there are some actors who are charging around maybe $100. What's the difference? The difference is not the acting. The difference is not that somebody is lucky and another person is not lucky. The difference is that there is one person who is every day consciously and deliberately working on improving themselves, and there is another person who is not working that way. So if you want to become better at whatever you're doing, you have to understand that, first of all, understand that there's a law of thinking. And the law of thinking states that whatever your dominating thoughts are, ultimately those dominating thoughts are going to manifest into your world. And then you understand that there is a law of supply. The law of supply states that there is an abundance of supply for everyone and anyone. Doesn't matter wherever in the world they are. They can be in China, they can be in India, they can be in Buenos Aires, Australia, New Zealand, London, Stockholm, anywhere in the world. There is equal supply available for the person right now who is living even in Kenya and the person who is living in the United States. The supply is right there, but you have to focus on integrating all these ideas clubbed together into your life. The law of compensation, be grateful. First of all, as Shaker said, if you're not happy for your present house right now, you cannot attract a better house into your life. If you're not grateful for the amount of money that you're earning right now, you cannot attract means to attract more money. If you're not grateful for the kind of car you're driving right now, you cannot attract the better car that you want. So it starts with being grateful and then change yourself. You know, that's what you have to do. You have to change the way you're thinking right now, first of all. You don't have to change like 100 things at the same time. You have to pick one idea, bring that idea to a new conclusion, and really work on the new perception that you must work with in your life. And that's what the law of compensation is really all about. It will give you whatever you desire in your life, but you have to work for it. The law never fails. It's human being that fails sometimes. But if you work on the law, and if you persistently keep working on the law, the law is going to give you everything that you desire and every time when you desire. But it all starts with an action. So study this law like every single day if you can for the next whole week. And on that note, we really want to thank every single one of you who have been tuning into the free coaching hours, who have been watching our sessions either live or either on recording, because this has been a phenomenal, phenomenal journey for us, over the last many weeks since me and Shekhar has been doing it together. We have absolutely loved it. But as they say, everything has an end, but then an ending has a start. This will be the last episode of the coaching hour series that we have done. And I really want to thank you, Shekhar, for being here and really, giving the best you have. And
Thank you.
I know some of our, audience might be thinking that what does that mean? This is the final episode. Yeah, this is the final episode of the coaching hour, but we are launching a new show and it is not going to take too much time. The new show will be launched next week and the timing will stay the same. And the new show is going to be an absolutely incredible one. Now, Shekhar, before we disclose the name, would you love to share something about the new show with our audience, that what this is all about?
Okay, this new show that we have come about is there's one thing that we are going to tell you towards the end of the show, which has got something to do with the name of the show. So the name of the show has been chosen in such a way that after every session gets ended, everything when everything gets ended, we will streamline everything and we will show you that the name of the show. Now you have to apply these things if you really want to literally do what the name of the show actually tells you to do. So can you continue from there, Sukhveer? Otherwise, I think
Oh,
I'm going to spill everything out.
absolutely, Shekhar. Like we all are in our life at a certain place where we have, we all walk through the wrong roads. We have all walked through the paths that has not helped us. We have all gone through, the tough phases, up and downs in our life. But as every tough phase bring a new thing to your life, we all know that at the end of the day, at the end of the life, what matter is what we are doing. Let me give you an example. Imagine you are moving on a highway, and imagine that you're moving from your home to a destination, and then you realize that you're on the wrong track. What you're going to do? The first thing that you're going to do is you're going to take the right path as soon as you discover that you're on the wrong path. But most of the time, we don't do this in our life. We simply keep walking on the wrong path, even if we discover that we're on the wrong path. We keep making the same mistakes, even if we realize that we're making the same mistake. So, what we have to do then? We have to make a U turn. And that's what the new show is all about. The new show is U Turn, which will help you to make the turn in your life towards prosperity, abundance, and everything that you sincerely, honestly are seeking. And if you stay committed to be in that new show, I can bet you your life is going to take that U turn that we are going to bring to your life. So, on that note, Shaker, I'm super excited for next week for this new show.
Yeah,
I believe they're going to add a lot of value. And
yeah.
thank you so much for being here. And before we leave, just one reason why people should be on our U-turn show. Give them one reason to be on that U-turn show.
One reason, first of all, the most important reason, every time we are going to bring up a content, we are not just going to go over the content and teach you something. You see, you have access to all the books that we have access to. So you can read all those things over there. We are trying to make it into an interactive session whereby towards the end of the show, we are going to show you, Sukhveer and I are going to show you now, how are you going to take that U-turn? And that is the most important thing, because while applying these laws, what you're doing is you're essentially thinking, and we barely have a control over our thinking unless we pray and meditate throughout the day. It takes a little bit of time. You see, you might be into a business which keeps you busy all the day. You might be into a lot of different affairs. What you can do is, no matter how busy you are, you can have 1 hour out of your schedule every week, Thursday, 8 p.m. it is, where you join us live, where you have the chance to ask us questions. We will show you how to take the U-turn if you haven't been able to take the U-turn so far in your life. It's not that difficult as you're thinking it to be. All you have to do is just leave a comment below or get in touch with Sukhveer or me. You have all the information below in the description to get in touch with Human Potential and Growth. So we will show you how to take the U-turn if you have been wanting to take the U-turn but haven't been able to do so. So every episode will have content. We will continue all the episodes of the U-Turn just the way we have been doing in the free coaching hour. There will be lots of things to learn, lots of points to remember, lots of action planners, everything. But in the end, we will show you how to take that U-turn. That is the only thing that's going to bring about the results.
Absolutely. So I'm super excited. Thank you so much, Shekhar, for this wonderful, powerful 1 hour we had today. And I'm looking forward to see you and every single person who has been watching us today next week in the new show, The U-Turn. So with that note, take care, everybody, and we are going to see you all next week with The U-Turn. Thank you once again, Shekhar, for being here.
Thank you so much, Sukhveer, for inviting me over.